Welcome back to the Mentally Fit Athlete. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jason von Stietz. If you don't know, I'm a psychologist. I specialize in OCD, performance anxiety, insomnia, and sport performance. All right, so today's going to be another solo episode. Oh, geez, and I just got my cat getting right in the middle of things, but hopefully he's going to be cool, not mess around too much. Uh, I could put him outside, but then he's going to make a bunch of noise trying to get inside. So let's roll with it for now. So today's going to be another solo episode, and I'm going to fire off uh, some answers to some questions I got from high school athletes taking a sports psychology class. And yeah, hope this is going to be helpful for people. And let's see. So, how do you help athletes in high pressure situations? So if you've been watching these solo episodes, most of what we've talked about will help athletes in a high pressure situation in one way or another. Jesus, guy. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So this is Taco. He's being a pest. Let me see if I can. Uh, Maybe if I hold on to him for a little bit, he'll settle down. But how do you help athletes in high pressure situations? Uh, I've already talked about that in different ways, but one way that I haven't mentioned, you can look into Ken Revisa's idea of playing one pitch at a time. So the way that you play one pitch at a time, you need to do a few things. Um, and no, well, let me start with why that's important. So, if let's say you struck out your last at bat, and now that's kind of in your head, you're thinking about that. Next time you're up at bat, it's going to be very hard to focus on what you need to do and do your best. So you got to play one fish at a time, or one pitch at a time. Fish. I started to get the idea of having a memory like a goldfish in my mind. If you've watched Ted Lasso, you know about that. Have the memory of a goldfish. That's another way of saying focus on what's going on right now. Play one pitch at a time. Okay, so how do you do that? You need to be in control of yourself. One way to do that is by taking a slow, controlled breath, just a slow, deliberate breath. That's going to help you to be in control of yourself. And then, oh boy, and then after that, you need to have a plan and commit to your plan. So commit to your plan. And it needs to be simple. It needs to be something like line drive up the middle. If it's too complicated, it's going to mess you up. So simple plan, line drive up the middle, commit to it. And then the third step, trust yourself and compete. Trust yourself and compete. I'm sure lots of people have had the experience of, you know, uh, having a plan, good plan, great plan. You know you can execute on it, but at the last minute, you doubt your plan, change it up, do something else, messes you up. So trust your plan and commit to it. When you do those three things, you're going to give yourself the best chance of playing one pitch at a time and getting the outcome that you want. So control yourself, take a slow, deep breath, commit to your plan, line drive up the middle, keep it simple, trust yourself, and just compete. Go for it. Okay. This guy. Yeah, my cat is being a bit of a nuisance. We're going to keep going. All right. How do you help athletes get out of their heads? Great question. Like we just talked about, you need to be in the present moment, focus on your task at hand if you want to, uh, perform well. There's different ways to do that. Playing one pitch at a time. We just talked about that. Mindfulness is really helpful. Another thing that I'll do is something called improv comedy. So I'll help athletes get out of their head by practicing improv comedy with them. It works best if it's in a team setting, but I can do a little bit of it one on one. The basic idea, you're playing fun games, you're being in the moment, you're not focused on being funny, you're not trying to get good at improv comedy necessarily. You're just being in the moment, tolerating your feelings of awkwardness and anxiety and cringiness, and focusing on the task anyway, and working with a team, communicating, um, focusing under pressure, using all of your mental skills. You can do all of that by doing something called improv comedy. It's a lot of fun. I suggest looking it up. All right, let me move on. Uh, how do you help athletes get ready before a game? Great question. So again, this is another question where all of the stuff that we've already talked about is very helpful. But another thing that can help athletes to get ready for a game is to have a pre-game routine. So that can be really helpful. And the way you develop your pre-game routine is thinking about some of your best performances and some of your worst performances, and what was going on before those different performances. And then that's going to give you a really good clue. That's going to give you a really good start to developing your pregame routine. So some athletes might notice, oh, when I've performed at my best, that's when I was kind of quietly listening to music on my own and just relaxing. And then, when we got closer to the game, then I started slowly warming up on my own. And then I went with the team and started warming up there. That might be one person's um, pre-game routine that they developed that they didn't even know they developed. It's just something that they did. Another thing could be maybe some athletes perform best when they're kind of loose, goofing around, hanging out with their friends, with their teammates, and then they transition into getting more serious when the game approaches. Now, the thing to look out for is lots of athletes think that they perform their best when they're goofing around before, and maybe the evidence doesn't show that. Maybe when they're goofing around, they actually don't perform very well. So it's important to just keep an eye on that. So, yeah, what are your best performances and how did you get ready for them, or what was going on before them? And what were your worst performances and what was going on before those? So take a look at that and then see, uh, you know, what what insight that gives you into how you can get ready for a big game. Let's see. How did you overcome your own stressful experiences in being able to help others through theirs? Okay, so how did I overcome my own stressful experiences in a way that helps me to help other people? Great question. Great question. Yeah, so I've done lots of stuff. I've done my own therapy. I've had supervisors. I've had mentors. I have colleagues that I talk to. And like I just talked about in that other question, I do improv comedy. I do improv comedy on my own. I do it just for fun. I take classes. I've had performances. And then that has really helped me to be in the present moment, be more adaptable, um, not spend so much time trying to over prepare for every little thing. Preparation is important. You definitely want to prepare, but also, I- you know, you can never actually stick to the plan for the most part. Things change very rapidly, um, you know, all the time. So you got to be really flexible. So improv comedy has been very helpful for me. Oh boy, now you can hear my cat over there making more noise. Sorry about that, people. I'm gonna just power through, answer a couple more questions. Let's see. What keeps you motivated to keep working and helping people achieve their goals? So, what keeps me motivated? Oh man, great question. Yeah. So one of the things I try to do, I try to change it up. I don't like to just do one thing with my career all the time. Some people just work with teams, or some people just work with people one on one. And I really like to do a little bit of everything. Um, I like working with teams. I like supervising trainees. I like leading trainings for counseling centers or for professional associations or for sports medicine clinics, things like that. I love leading trainings. I have two podcasts. This podcast, The Mentally Fit Athlete, and another one called Movie House Sports Psychology, where I talk to guests about their favorite TV show or movie through the lens of mental health and sports psychology. Lots of fun. Check it out. And I've written chapters. I've written a textbook chapter on how to help athletes perform their best using cognitive behavioral therapy. I've uh, I've written a chapter on how to uh, kind of gain insight into leadership from watching Star Trek. I've done sports psychology case studies of Star Trek captains. That was a lot of fun. I'm working on another one that's very similar to that. So I just like to do lots of different things that are all kind of under the umbrella of sports psychology. And yeah, it's fun. Keeps me motivated. Keeps me motivated. It's good stuff. All right. Let's see what else. How do people benefit from what you help with? And does it always benefit the person? Or are there times when it doesn't help? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, good question. Uh, let's see. How do people benefit? So, what do people get out of working with a psychologist? And does it always help the person? Well, I would like to think that it always helps or usually helps. Um, there are times when somebody, for whatever reason, for a variety of reasons, uh, doesn't find it worthwhile. But I think for the most part, if somebody is going to take the time to meet with me and they're going to pay the fee, or if their coach has scheduled a team session and they were willing to show up and to participate, usually people are going to get some benefits. And how does it benefit? It can benefit in a variety of ways. It can help them to deal with their performance anxiety. It can help them to deal with feelings of burnout in their sport or burnout from their personal life. It can help them to work better with their teammates. It can help them to uh, it can help them to just enjoy their sport more. That's very important. Yeah. So I think for the most part, when athletes meet with a psychologist, it usually helps, and it helps in a variety of ways. It helps in all those ways. It helps people to feel better and enjoy their sport more, which often leads to better performance. Okay. And it helps them perform better too, more directly. Okay. Let's see. Let's do one more before my cat just tears this place apart. Let's see. Uh, Do you think every athlete would benefit from doing therapy? Do I think every athlete would benefit from doing therapy? For the most part, I wouldn't say that every athlete needs to be in therapy all the time for their entire career. But, the same way that every athlete will get a physical injury every once in a while, they're going to get sprained ankles, they're going to get pulled muscles, they're going to get, they're going to get all kinds of injuries. And then also they're just going to get the regular stuff. They're going to get the flu every once in a while. There's going to be these things that come up. So the same way that athletes will get those types of injuries, they could also get a mental or emotional injury. They could, you know, um, make a big error in a game that could lead to their team losing the championship, or they could, yeah, they could just start to feel burnt out from their sport for playing it, for a while if they're, deep into their career. Or they could have, relationship issues, marriage issues, family issues, or they could have ADHD that can impact their sport in a variety of ways, or maybe it doesn't, but it's impacting their personal life. So most athletes will benefit from therapy at some point in their life, and I highly recommend going. The same way that you can get a sprained ankle and you don't need to talk to your trainer and get some treatment, but it helps. Helps you to recover faster, and it helps to prevent it from getting worse. So if you're an athlete and you're dealing with some insomnia, you're dealing with some performance anxiety or some burnout or relationship issues, yeah, there's a good chance you could work through it on your own. There's also a good chance it could just get worse, or it could just keep lingering and keep coming back and affecting you in ways that it doesn't really need to if you just got treatment. So overall answer, yes, I think most athletes would benefit from therapy at some point in their athletic career. They might not need it all the time, but at some point. All right. I'm gonna wrap up here. All right, thanks for checking this out. Thanks for dealing with me and my troublemaker cat Taco. And you can find me at drjasonvonsteets.com. Check out my other podcast, Movie House Sports Psychology. And if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, hey, we're also on YouTube. Check out some YouTube clips on theyoutube.com, www.youtube.com as the kids call it. All right. See you next time.